Well, hi, hello, my dear students. Welcome to my video lecture class. Right up to now, I uploaded video lectures on the topic Newton's laws of motion. In this topic, I explain Newton's first law, types of inertia, Newton's second law, applications of Newton's second law, impulse, linear momentum, change in linear momentum, applications of change in linear momentum. Okay. Next, Newton's third law, definition of Newton's third law, limitations of Newton's third law, applications of Newton's third law. So these are all discussed in previous lectures. Please watch that previous lectures. So if you'll get, definitely you'll get a clear idea. So next, today we are going to start the most important topic. That topic is frame of reference. What is meant by frame of reference? How many types of frame of references we had? Okay, first of all, what is meant by frame of reference? Frame of reference. Frame of reference. Okay. What is meant by frame of reference? Okay, so that is the first one. How to define? To define position of a body, position of a body in 3D space, to define position of a body in 3D space. Okay, to define position of a body in 3D space is called frame of reference. Frame of reference. Simple. What is the meaning for this? When we have to define position of a body, any body you should take. For example, here is one body. To define this position of a body in this three-dimensional plane. So this is called frame of reference. So according to his body, this white body is frame of reference. Is it or not? So this is frame of reference. What is the definition for frame of reference? To define position of a body in 3-dimensional space, 3D space is called frame of reference. So types of frame of reference, 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 frame of reference, types of frame of reference. First one, inertial frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference. First one is inertial frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference. Next, second one, non-inertial frame of reference. Non-inertial frame of reference. So two types of frame of references we had. One is inertial frame of reference, another one is non-inertial frame of reference. So now I will explain one by one what is meant by inertial frame of reference, what are the node points of inertial frame of reference, and what is meant by non-inertial frame of reference, what are the node points of non-inertial frame of reference. I will discuss. So right, inertial frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference. So first point, Newton's laws is not valid for Newton's laws is valid for inertial frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference. Newton's law is valid for inertial frame of reference. Next, inertial frame of reference is also called as accelerated, that means unaccelerated frame of reference. This point is very, very important. Unaccelerated frame of reference. Unaccelerated frame of reference. What is the meaning for this one? Unaccelerated. A is equal to 0. So acceleration is equal to 0. Unaccelerated frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference is called unaccelerated frame of reference. That means acceleration is equal to 0. If your body or frame of reference, which is either at rest or moves with constant speed. If your body or frame of reference which is either at rest or moves with constant speed, then that frame of reference is called inertial frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference. Next, acceleration is produced here. Acceleration is produced due to real forces. Here acceleration is produced due to real force. Next, examples. So what are the examples of inertial frame of reference? Best examples of inertial frame of reference. Examples of inertial frame of reference. Examples of inertial frame of reference. First example, lift is at rest. Next, second example, lift is at rest and the lift is moving with constant speed, upward or downward. Next, car is moving on the road with constant speed. Car is moving on the road with constant speed. So these are the examples of frame of reference. Next, examples of non-inertial frame of reference, and what is meant by non-inertial frame of reference. Non-inertial frame of reference. Non-inertial frame of reference. Newton's laws is not applicable for non-inertial frame of reference. non-inertial frame of reference, inertial frame of reference, non-inertial frame of reference is also called as accelerated frame of reference. Accelerated frame of reference. Accelerated frame of reference. It's also called as accelerated frame of reference. Next, third one. Here, the frame of reference moving with uniform or non-uniform acceleration. Non-uniform acceleration. That means acceleration is not equal to 0 here. Acceleration not equal to 0. So here the frame of reference is must moving with some acceleration. It's not equal to 0. Okay. Next. Here next. So next. In order to make Newton's second law applicable for non-inertial frame, we introduce the concept of pseudo force. In order to make Newton's second law applicable. Generally, Newton's second law is not applicable for non-inertial frame of reference. If we need to applicable, we have to applicable. That means in order to make Newton's law is applicable. So what we are doing? So we are doing here introducing the concept of pseudo force. If you are introducing concept of pseudo force, definitely this non-inertial frame of reference also applicable for Newton's second law. Okay, applicable for Newton's second law. So here acceleration is due to pseudo force. Pseudo force is also called as imaginary force. Okay. So in order to apply Newton's second law for non-inertial frame of reference, we introducing the concept of pseudo force. So what is meant by pseudo force? Okay. First of all, I define pseudo force. Okay. So I define pseudo force. Next, I'll discuss examples of non-inertial frame of reference. Pseudo force. Pseudo force is also called as imaginary force. Pseudo force is also called as imaginary force, which is always acts opposite to the direction of acceleration. direction of acceleration, which is always at direction of acceleration. Okay, which is always at direction of acceleration. So here pseudo force, F pseudo force is equal to, we are taking minus m into acceleration. So here observe carefully, direction of pseudo force is, direction of pseudo force is opposite to acceleration. Okay, so we are introducing pseudo force. So then if any body is applicable for non-inertial frame of reference, Newton's second law is applicable for non-inertial frame of reference. So examples for non-inertial frame of reference. Okay, example for non-inertial frame of reference. Examples of non-inertial frame of reference. Examples of non-inertial frame of reference. Okay, so first example, lift is moving with some acceleration upward or downward. If car is moving on the road with some acceleration, car is moving on the road with some acceleration, lift is moving with some acceleration upward or downward. If any body is moving with acceleration, so that is an example for non-inertial frame of reference, because non-inertial frame of reference is also called as accelerated frame of reference. So if any body moving with acceleration, then it is an example of non-inertial frame of reference. Okay, so this is an example for non-inertial frame of reference. So this is about today's session. So today we are discussed, so what is meant by frame of reference, how many types of frame of reference. We have two types of frame of reference. So first one is inertial frame of reference and second one is non-inertial frame of reference. Next, what are the examples of inertial frame of reference, what are the examples of non-inertial frame of reference. So these are all we are discussed. So and what is meant by pseudo force we discussed. So this is about today's session. So Newton's laws is not valid for non-inertial frame of reference. If for making valid Newton's second law, so we are introducing the concept of pseudo force. So this is today's theme about this session. Okay, again I'll come back with new concepts and new formulas. Thank you for supporting me. So while watching lecture, if you will get any doubt, please mention in comment box. Thank you so much.